Good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you may be, or good evening, or good night. This is Jen at Jen's Arty Inclinations, a place to create, share and play.
Hello. I'm doing the hashtag PPG Choose 6 Challenge. This is hosted by Playing with Paper and Glue Facebook group. If you're not a member, you're welcome to join. The prompts this week are map. So I've got this coffee-dyed map that I had, ledger paper or graph paper. So I have a piece of scrapbook paper. And then I was thinking ruffle. So what I've done is I've just made a ruffle out of a torn edge of a map. So voila, one paper ruffle. That's, quite easy. It's just doing a bit of an off-center concertina. Then the next is label, landmark, and illustration. So I've got the label, I've got the landmark, and the illustration I figured could be the landmark or it could be that edge on the actual ledger paper that I've also got. And that is what I end up using in the end. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm simply covering this piece of card. Now this is a piece of card. What was this? Fabric tassels. There you go. So it was something that I just picked up at the $2 shop. Quite funny me buying tassels because I can probably make them quicker than I can actually go and buy them. But, it's always fun to buy new things and things made by other people. But yeah, you glue the small piece to the big piece. That's always the rule of thumb. So I've torn down this piece of map to just fit on the edge and I'm simply wrapping it around. I'm using PVA glue just so that there's a really nice firm hold. And it will also give the card just a little bit more stiffness and the piece just a little bit more finish. So I did not wash my brush properly and I couldn't find any of my other brushes and I was just lazy really to keep looking. So let's tell the truth, Jen. But it still did the job. It still did a nice even coat over it. And I did do probably a layer that was just a little bit too thick. But once that dries, because I'll put it all under weight, it'll be beautiful. And in fact, if you want to laminate a piece to a piece of card, so let's say you just do that on one side, if you do that and then put it under weight straight away, so just under some heavy books and then just pop a brick on top or something like that. Some books are heavy enough on their own and just leave it overnight. You'll be amazed. It will be like it's all one piece overnight. So just the same that you can put pages through a laminator, you can also laminate pages to cardboard. Okay, you get what I mean. All right, so I'm just finishing off here. I'm wiping off the edge of the glue. I've gone really super simple for this challenge. Of course, I can complicate anything. So I purposely chose very few materials and I thought, that way I'll put this together really quickly. I'll have it done in 5 minutes. Well, no, I kept faffing and thinking, maybe I'll try putting this here. I just could not get the front of this to sort of look right for me. Everything just looked wrong. I thought, I'm going to have to go and get some more stuff out. And so then I just stopped that and I thought, I'll just go on to something else, clear my head. I'm just getting overcomplicated and faffing and fussing. And of course, there's more faffing and fussing to come. However, this did put a block in that real extreme fussing that I just couldn't get past. So here I'm just inking the edges. That just gives it a little bit of a finish. So because I've torn the edges and I'm simply wrapping this around, it's all a bit rustic and handmade and slightly uneven. And so this kind of just pulls it together. Plus it gives a very, very subtle border to the whole piece, front and back. So that's nice. All right. So now I just realized I had let it crinkle a little bit because of the fact that I was impatient and didn't put this underweight. I mean, I can even just put it under my desk mat while I'm working on other things. But yeah, didn't do any of that. So, all right. So then I finally see how quick it was once I put my brain onto something else, then to come back and go, that's how it's going to sit. First go, I just went, yeah, that'll work. And I like it. So I just glued it down. Now I've finally done that tip that all of you have been telling me. Everybody on their channels always give this tip. I have dispensed my glue into a little bottle with a needle tip. And oh my goodness, that made it so much easier today. I just couldn't believe the difference. So yeah, Thank you, everybody who's ever done any YouTube or left a comment or all of that. Yeah, you're all quite brilliant. It just takes me a while to catch up. Oh, dear. All right. So here is my inverted commas ruffle, but I think it looks like a ruffle. So I'm just gluing it down just to give it, I don't know, just to keep it secure and let it sit nice and flat. Because I want this to be a journal card, I don't want it to be too bulky and bumpy for anybody who's going to use that, whether that be me and one of mine. And that's what I've started to do. I've actually started to use a lot of these junk journal techniques just in my regular notebooks, and I'm making my own notebooks. So I'm loving that. It's just, I actually do write things down. I actually do use them when I really like the look and I have a prompt or something there. And I put loads of glue on the back to make sure that all the little different bits could really contact with the surface and give that a really nice bond. So the landmark there, Eiffel Tower, and it's probably in a completely different part of the world. Those who know me know that geography is not my strong point. So then I'm just edging very roughly the label as well. And these are lovely little labels. They're actually stickers, but they're lovely and matte. I got them from one of those subscription boxes. Cannot for the life of me. Oh, Your Creative Studio. That was it. I got them from one of those subscription boxes, and I haven't done one for a little while because I've actually got more than I can make, which is quite superb, really, having an excess of resources. However, I just loved looking through the boxes. So please, everybody who does those Your Creative Studio unboxings, please keep doing them because I'm loving seeing what I missed out on as well. Even though I'll have envy, it's just lovely to see what everybody else does. So how cool is this? The illustration is actually perfect. It sits within the size of that journal card. I was so excited. I actually did a little yelp, a yiddle whelp. Wallabadee, just can't speak. And now, couldn't find where my scissors were. And I'm hesitating there because I have half a dozen pairs. I really, really do. And I could not find a single pair. But I love torn edges, so I wasn't going to let that stop me. And I still had loads and loads of fun. And it still all turned out looking really, really nice. So it's fine. It's all fine. Anyway, that little piece of ledger paper, which is also scrapbook paper, makes the perfect little journaling spot on the back of the journal card. How cool is that? Again, I just gave it a little edge of, what's that called? Ink. And as you can see, I didn't use the dobber, but look, it's got a raised ink pad. And in fact, it's probably half the reason that this one's worn out. That, and I leave the lid off all the time. So I need to get some new re-inker or a new ink pad or all of the above. Status normal. I really need to learn how to look after my ink pads. Simply just do it. I am loving this bottle, and I love the fact that it's just little. That somehow to me just feels better, and I don't really know if it actually makes any difference, but truly, that just seems to work for me, having the little bottle. It's easy, it's maneuverable, it's, about the size of a glue stick. Here I'm just smoothing out the glue just a little bit, and I always use my pinky when I'm smoothing out the glue. The reason I do that is because then you can hold your pinky in the air like a very fine lady sipping your tea and keep it out of your work. Very cool. So just making sure that no glue spills out. That's why I'm rubbing over the cloth, and that was just a paper towel that I'd used to do some other artwork. And there you go. There is my little piece. So all I'm doing is a little final touch, just putting a doodled border around. And I just felt like that gave the front a little bit more of a finish. The other way I could have done that is done more ink, but since my ink pad is drying up, I thought, that's all right. I'll just doodle. It'll add to the handmade touch. I felt like the back was fine as what it was, but the front, I just wanted it to look a little bit more like a picture. So when I'm doing those little uneven borders, I always just find it a bit more, I don't know, looking proper like looking like it's meant to be like that when I go around and do two lines on all sides. So yes, there you go. And here I'm just putting a slight shadow on the edge of the Eiffel Tower. And I'm being very, very careful as I'm going up. And it's hard to see this in the camera unless you're on a bigger screen than you are on what I'm looking at right now. But it came up actually surprisingly nicely on the actual piece. It did just give it a little bit of a finish. It just gave it just the right kind of definition, I guess is the word. So it all worked out fine. Isn't that great when things work out? That's what crafting is about. These are just play. Please go and check out gorgeous Lynn at Playing with Paper and Glue. She has a wonderful YouTube channel too, and she does some fabulous 3D art. So go and check her out. Come and join our Facebook group if you're not already a member, Playing with Paper and Glue Facebook group. And that's how the little journal card looks in a book. So I figure it can go in a pocket, and that's just a standard book page pocket, or it could be a flip out on the edge of a page. The possibilities are endless. But either way, I learned something new. I had a bit of a play, and it's always fun playing with paper and glue. I will see you on the flip side. You can like and subscribe below, and as always, keep creating. See you next time. Bye.